In the summer of 2018, a young woman walked into the wilderness with hope, a journal, and plans for a quiet weekend alone. 2 months later, searchers unzipped her tent and found it buried under layers of earth, branches, and stones. Inside was her, wrapped, preserved, hidden, and whoever placed her there was never found. Before going into this heartbreaking story, make sure to like this video, comment your thoughts, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the most shocking true crime stories. 2018 was supposed to be the year Elena Myles reclaimed her life. At 26, she had survived a difficult breakup, left a high-pressure job, and decided she needed space, solitude, healing, quiet. She often told friends that nature felt like the only place where nothing expects anything from me. So when she announced she'd be spending a long weekend hiking at Ravenwood Forest Reserve, nobody thought much of it. Elena was responsible, experienced, and well-prepared. She had done solo trips before, always leaving a detailed itinerary. Her plan was simple. Hike to Cedar Ridge Point. Camp for 2 nights. Return Sunday by noon. But Sunday came. Then Monday. Then Tuesday. No Elena. Her phone went straight to voicemail. Her car still sat at the trailhead. And by Wednesday morning, her family filed a missing persons report, launching one of the largest volunteer searches the area had seen in years. Dozens of search teams covered the trails, ravines, and campsites. Helicopters scanned the woods. Dogs were brought in. Rangers spent hours walking grid-pattern routes. Volunteers scoured rivers, abandoned cabins, and caves in the area. But nothing. No tent. No gear. No clothing. Not even a footprint that could confidently be traced back to her. It was as if the forest had closed around her and swallowed her whole. Her family begged authorities to continue the search, but after several weeks, with no signs of wildlife struggle, no personal items, and no evidence of foul play, the official search slowed. Unofficially, her mother kept showing up every weekend, handing out flyers to hikers and pleading with anyone willing to listen. "I know she's somewhere out there," she said. "But she didn't just disappear. Someone knows something." At the time, her words felt like grief speaking into a void. But 2 months later, they would mean everything. On October 14, 2018, 62 days after Elena went missing, 2 hikers wandered slightly off-trail while looking for a better view of the valley. They noticed what looked like a collapsed tent, half buried under dirt and branches. At first, they thought it had been abandoned, maybe damaged by weather. But something felt wrong. The tent was intentionally covered, not naturally fallen debris, but placed debris. A blanket of dry leaves. Branches arranged in a careful, unnatural pattern. Stones of similar size evenly spaced on top. Someone had tried to hide it. The hikers pushed back the branches and peeled off handfuls of soil. They saw the faded teal fabric of a compact 2-person tent underneath. One recognized it instantly from missing posters, Elena's. Authorities were called immediately. When they arrived, they documented the scene before unzipping the entrance. Inside was a human form, wrapped tightly in Elena's sleeping bag. The forest was silent as investigators worked, as if even the wind held its breath. Forensic teams quickly confirmed what everyone feared. It was her. Several details immediately made the case terrifying. 1. Elena did not bury herself. The tent was covered by multiple layers of earth and debris too heavy and too intentionally placed for a single person to do from inside. 2. The tent hadn't been visible during the initial search. Search teams had passed near that exact spot multiple times. 3. No obvious signs of struggle or animal attack. She was simply gone, and then returned. 4. The zipper of the tent was closed from the outside. Whoever covered her zipped it shut. Authorities privately admitted they believed someone had moved her body, carrying it back into the forest long after she first disappeared. Forensic analysis suggested Elena died within the first week of her disappearance, but there were no clear indications of cause. No trauma. No significant injuries. Toxicology inconclusive. Her body had likely been stored elsewhere before being placed in the tent, which explained the lack of decomposition expected for 2 months exposed to the elements. Her journal, her backpack, her phone, all missing. This was not an accident. It was intentional. Several theories circulated among authorities, investigators, and true crime journalists. The interrupted camp theory. Some believed she encountered the wrong person while setting up camp, perhaps someone living off-grid, territorial, or with a dangerous obsession. But why move the body 2 months later? The acquaintance theory. Others suspected someone she knew followed her into the woods. Maybe a quiet obsession, escalating into murder. Yet all friends, co-workers, and ex-partners had alibis. The passing stranger theory. A more chilling suggestion was a transient or drifter in the region who stumbled upon her, or worse, targeted her specifically. No evidence tied anyone to the case. The staged burial theory. Some investigators privately theorized that the burial inside her own tent was symbolic, an act meant to send a message. But who would do such a thing, and why? Elena's parents experienced unimaginable grief. Her mother, Elena Myles, refused to accept the closure authorities offered. She visited Ravenwood weekly, leaving flowers and messages carved into small wooden markers along the trail. Her father, Myles, struggled to stay composed, throwing himself into the investigation, combing the woods, and compiling lists of potential suspects. Family friends noted that both parents began losing sleep, anxiety etching itself into their faces. Yet neither stopped searching. "I need to know who did this," Clara said repeatedly. "Even if I never get justice, I need to know." Local and national news picked up Elena's story. Headlines screamed, "Young woman found dead in forest tent after mysterious disappearance. Who buried Elena? Shocking mystery of 2018 inch." The public was captivated. Hikers, campers, and outdoor enthusiasts shared theories online. Some believed a killer haunted the forest. Others thought Elena had stumbled into a natural disaster, though no evidence supported this. Social media became a mix of hope and fear, strangers leaving messages of support for the family while speculating about sinister motives. Yet the most terrifying thought remained: someone had done this and walked away. Investigators pieced together what they could. Her tent had been intentionally hidden. The zipper closed from the outside. No personal items or journal recovered. Death occurred shortly after disappearance. No DNA evidence of a perpetrator. Theories ranged from kidnapping to ritualistic behavior. But nothing concrete emerged. Even seasoned detectives called the case one of the most unnerving scenarios we've ever handled. Some hikers reported seeing a lone figure carrying a large bundle near the forest a few days after Elena disappeared. Others claimed to see a strange vehicle parked near a service road, but the reports were vague, conflicting, or too late to trace. Every tip was followed, every lead chased, yet no arrests were ever made. The idea that someone had planned this became increasingly plausible. The items Elena carried disappeared without a trace. Her journal, her phone, her backpack, her hiking boots. It was as if someone wanted to erase her presence entirely. Investigators theorized the missing items could contain clues about the perpetrator, yet nothing was ever recovered. Ravenwood Forest, once a serene retreat, became a place of anxiety for hikers. Locals warned visitors to avoid certain areas. Campers reported feeling watched at night. Elena's story sparked fear. If something like this could happen to an experienced, careful hiker, it could happen to anyone. Her family, unable to get answers from authorities, tried privately, hiring independent investigators, offering rewards for tips, consulting forensic experts, placing surveillance in the forest. Yet the truth remained elusive. Over the years, Elena's story became a cautionary tale about solitude in the wilderness, about unseen dangers, about the fragility of life. Her case was referenced in training for search and rescue teams, emphasizing the possibility of intentional concealment after a disappearance. Even in 2025, Elena's killer, or captor, remains unidentified. The tent remains the chilling symbol of her last moments. Hikers continue to visit Ravenwood Forest, leaving flowers and notes. Locals whisper about the girl in the buried tent. No arrest. No confession. No answers. Only the enduring question. Who would take a young woman, place her in her own tent, and leave her for the world to find, yet never be caught? And maybe, in the silence of the forest, that question will echo forever. Up till date, Elena's case remains unsolved, haunting her family and the community. Her killer, or captor, has never been found. If you think you'd know what happened, leave your thoughts below. And remember, sometimes the wilderness hides more than beauty. It hides secrets.